So in this video, I thought I'd look at brewing waters and compare different brewing waters. For a number of years now, we've been remineralising water at our roastery, and at home I use mineralised water when I make coffees as well. That's because the water we get through the mains in this part of Cumbria is very, very soft. And we've always known that has an impact on the coffee. I think it's a negative impact. People may think differently. But what I've never done is put this kind of theory to the test. I've never actually tried to blind taste water. So what I want to do in this video is taste the same coffee brewed the same way but using 3 different waters. The first water is out of our mains. It's standard tap water. It is soft water. The second water is the balanced water that we remineralize here at the roastery. It's perfect water, if you like, for coffee brewing. And the third water is harder water. I've bought some Evian bottled water because I know it's got a lot of solids in there. So it's the closest I can get to harder water. I'm going to taste all 3. I'm going to taste all 3 blind to see if I can pick out which coffee was brewed using which water. So for those that are interested, the coffee I'm going to use is Finca Tepenag. It is an anaerobic processed coffee. It's got plenty of acidity. I wanted to go for something that had some good acidity in the cup, some nice sweetness in there, something that I think would probably be influenced by the water I was choosing to use. So they're my 3 bowls. They've been randomized. Someone's placed them out for me, so I don't know which order they're in, but I have written underneath each bowl what there is. I'm going to taste them and see if I can match them, and I'll put these cards against them to remind myself which is which, and we'll see how close I can get. Can I tell a difference in the brewing water? So I'll start over here. And I should mention these bowls and the coffees have cooled a little bit, making them a bit easier to taste. There's acidity there. It's a little bit sharp, it's a little bit tart, but it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's unpleasant. Maybe a little bit on the sharper side of it. So in this middle bowl, definitely have the acidity settling down on this middle bowl. Probably more rounded. If I go back to the first bowl, this is a more rounded coffee. There's something about this one. There's a sharpness, there's an edge, that acidity doesn't feel quite as balanced or as rounded as this middle bowl, where I feel like it feels like an all-rounder. The whole thing seems nicely balanced. On the end here, more on the finish. The finish seems to develop on this one. It's got acidity. Yeah, it seems to be missing something at the front end. If I go to this first bowl, straight away, bang, front end of my tongue, front end of my mouth, there's something hitting me straight away. This bowl's interesting because it's the other way around. Maybe describe it as a bit of a hollow start, and then it gains at the back of my mouth. Whereas this middle bowl feels like an all-over sensation. Feels like there's no one part being affected by this coffee. So with that in mind, I would suggest that this kind of front end of my tongue hit over here is the soft water. This more rounded coffee in the middle is the balanced, and hard over here. Let's see what the bowls say. So is this soft? Yes, it is. Again, front end acidity, nothing as much on the back end, really at the front of my mouth early on. So is this balanced? I kind of hope so. It's balanced, and it was the more rounded coffee. A little bit of acidity there, sweetness, body, nice finish, very much a rounded coffee. And obviously, just to check, that was the hard one, almost the opposite to the soft. Front end of my mouth, almost like hollow, missed it completely, and all towards the back end. And that, more interesting than whether I was right or wrong, is that all 3 coffees tasted very different. There was some commonality in there, but overall the characters were completely different. So what did I learn from that? to be honest with you, it was really interesting because actually telling the difference between the coffees was easy. That was the easy part. They were obviously different. And as they cooled, that difference became more obvious. I have to admit, matching the water to the coffee wasn't so easy. As the coffees cooled, again, I think it became a lot more obvious. Warm, it was a bit harder to pick out those differences. So I think if I repeated this again, I need to make sure that they will cool down a little bit. Just kind of shows that it's really important for us to use balanced water here at the Roastery when we're tasting our coffee, particularly when we're determining how we need to roast it. If we didn't have that balanced water, then a lot of the character of the coffee could be simply due to the water we were using and not to our roasting. If you've ever played with the water, have any thoughts, comments, or questions about any of this, please feel free to get in touch. It's something I think I want to try again with a different coffee. I want to see what happens maybe when I use something a little bit easier, a little bit less acidic, and I want to see if I get that kind of same results again. In the meantime, thanks again for your likes, thanks for your subscribes, thanks for watching, and have a great day.